Alagang AMOSUP, Associated Marine Officers and Seamen's Union of the Philippines. Ang programang para sa mga Filipino seafarers at kanilang pamilya. Maghahatid ng impormasyon, magbibigay ng inspirasyon, at tatalakay sa kanilang mga sitwasyon, kalagayan at iba pang mga pangangailangan. Alagang AMOSUP. Kasama si Camille Simbulan dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service at Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko.
Ahoy! Magandang araw po and welcome po muli sa Alagang AMOSUP, ang serbisyo publiko sa radyong hatid ng Associated Marine Officers and Seamen's Union of the Philippines o AMOSUP at ng Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Sa programang ito ay pinag-uusapan natin ang iba't ibang programs and welfare services ng AMOSUP para sa mga miyembro at dependents ng ating union. Tinatalakay din po natin dito ang mga napapanahong issue tungkol sa mga karapatan at kapakanan ng mga magigiting nating Filipino seafarers or sea-based overseas Filipino workers, ang ating global maritime professionals at mga modern-day heroes po natin. Ang Alagang AMOSUP ay napapakinggan sa mga shortwave frequencies na 9.920 MHz, 12.120 MHz at 15.190 MHz. Sumasahim papawid din po ang ating programa sa flagship station na Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko 738 kHz tuwing linggo, alas 7 hanggang alas 7:30 ng gabi. Special shoutout po syempre sa mga miyembro ng AMOSUP at sa lahat ng mga Pilipino at Pilipinang mandaragat sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo na nakatutok po sa atin.
Alagang AMOSUP dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service at Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko.
Ayan, welcome po muli sa isa na namang makabuluhang episode ng Alagang AMOSUP. Ang tema ng ating episode ngayon ay Museo del Galion and the Legacy of Filipino Seafarers. Kamakailan lamang ay opisyal nang nagbukas ang Museo del Galion sa SM Mall of Asia Complex sa Pasay City. Isang world-class maritime museum po ito na naglalayong ikwento ang mayamang kasaysayan ng Pilipinas bilang isang seafaring nation. Dito binibigyang buhay ang kwento ng ating mga unang mandaragat, ang makasaysayang Manila-Acapulco galleon trade at ang patuloy na mahalagang papel ng mga Pilipinong seafarers sa global maritime trade o global maritime industry. Makakasama natin ngayong araw sina Mr. Ralph Leo Batuon, Collections Manager Officer, and Mr. Enzo Novenario, Exhibitions Officer ng Museo del Galion upang ibahagi ang kanilang kaalaman at kwento tungkol sa isa sa mga pinakabagong cultural landmarks ng bansa. Welcome po to Alagang AMOSUP, Mr. Enzo and Sir Leo.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Magandang hapon.
Ayan, napaka-exciting po ng topic natin ngayong araw dahil alam ko po yung mga viewers natin na nakita na po, natunghayan na yung Museo del Galion sa iba't ibang mga promotions niyo po sa Facebook. And ngayon po, mas malalaman natin yung kwento behind the establishment of Museo del Galion. So, Sir, Museo del Galion is one of the newest maritime museums in the country. What inspired the creation of this remarkable project, sir?
Yun na nga, nagsimula tayo sa kwento, ano. So basically ang inspirasyon nito ay sa araw-araw na pamumuhay natin. Maraming mga kwento, no, na encounter natin, ano. Basically more on ano yung mga kinakain natin, ano yung mga gamit natin ngayon, no, sa pananamit, ano yung mga lingwahe, ano yung isa pa yung ating musika, ano. So meron mga kaakibat na mga kwento, no. Ang ano lang minsan kasi dito, nandun yung mga kwento pero hindi natin nailalahad ng pangkalahatan, ano. Mm-hmm. Ito yung humuhugis sa bilang Pilipino na pag nakukumpleto natin yung kwento, mm-hmm, 'di ba, mas masaya tayo, mas nagiging ano tayo, mas yung natutuwa tayo na dito pala tayo
yung kultura
naging
natin.
Pilipino.
Opo, sa nagmula.
So basically yung mga kwento na gusto namin ikwento sa mga bisita namin, yun ang aming inspirasyon, ano. Gusto namin punuin pa, no, punuan para mas maging mas mas makukumpleto ang kwento bilang isang Pilipino.
Lalo na po, we are the top seafaring nation in the world.
Yes.
Pilipino po ang pinakamarami.
Yeah.
Kahit sa latest report po na nilabas sa Global Maritime Industry, Pilipino pa rin po ang number 1 ng mga seafarers sa buong mundo. So can you share with us po how the idea for Museo del Galion came about? Paano po siya na-conceptualize, no? And how long did it take for you to complete the project po, no? The museum?
Actually, it's a brainchild of Senator Edgardo Angara, the late Senator Angara. So it's basically, we started it as because me as part of the technical working group to compose the Dia del Galion projects. Basically, to know the route, no, between Manila and Acapulco. It's the objective is to really incorporate it in the UNESCO memory of the, it's a UNESCO thing, no. So part of the idea is to come up to build one is to one galleon, It was just a very basic idea, no. Siguro Angara just realize na the world is changing, Filipinos, even the Spaniards, or we call them the Espanyol, even the Mexico, we are basically we started as not enemies, but we started bad, no, and now we are developed to be friends, we have to know that, we have to celebrate that. So that's why the Philippine-Spanish Friendship Day, was realized also. It just happened last June 30. So I was involved in the first inaugural of this celebration. So it's a way of, and then Ambassador Salinas, continued the efforts of, actually sabayan sila, and then since nawala si Angara, si Salinas nag-continue, and then he fundraised, he chose, good people, like Enzo, the brilliant minds of, of the Museo del Galion, Inan, and the rest of the curators and the management, he looked for these people, he fundraised, and then, perhaps it started, for about, the real framework started really 3 years ago, and then now it's realized, so now you can see the whole, the whole feature, of the museum.
Sir, you said earlier, when we were just talking before we went on air, 2015 pa po na buo yung idea of building an actual galleon.
Yeah.
Kasi nawala na tayong makitang buong galleon but we read it in the books, diba, na may Manila Acapulco galleon trade. It's how globalization started in the early times. 2015 po nabuo yung idea na bumuo ng isang galleon. Gaano po kahirap buuhin yung galleon na yun? Tsaka ano po yung naging basis? Meron po ba tayong actual blueprint ng actual na galleon?
So maybe I can answer that. So yung the process para to finish yung Galion Espiritu Santo took many years over starting from 2015. So of course you've said na the first problem was where can we find yung blueprints ng Galion. In actuality, there is no complete set of blueprints available for the galleon here in the Philippines. So, nagpartner kami with a shipbuilding firm in Seville, in Spain, called Ifvial Barcos Históricos. So, working with them, they eventually nagsend sila ng blueprint on how to make an actual galleon using today's tools and mga craftsmanship.
Oh,
yes.
So they were able to preserve that.
Yes.
So that's how that helped you po for sure to be able to complete the galleon na nasa museum ngayon.
Definitely, it allowed. We worked closely with them to ensure na it's accessible siya in terms of modern PWD accessibility, but also retaining yung actual as-built features of the galleon as it would have existed hundreds of years ago.
Bakit po pala yung Espiritu Santo yung napili natin na model na galleon?
So, based on the kasaysayan, yung back then, yung mga Kastila, yung Spanish, they named their ships after yung mga religious figures. So, for example, you have San Jeronimo, Saint Michael, San Buenaventura. So, one of these ships was named Espiritu Santo back in 1602.
Okay.
Yes. So we chose the galleon kasi initially we thought na it did not fight any battles when it was trading. Kasi the galleon trade was a peaceful period siya. Hindi siya about war or anything like that. It was cooperation between many different countries.
Kaya yung Espiritu Santo yung napili na galleon. Okay, so the Philippines has a rich maritime history. How does Museo del Galeon help celebrate Filipino heritage and tell the story of our seafarers, both past and present?
So since the idea is, we want to tell, new stories. We want to tell, even the past stories. We want the visitors to experience our past so that we will learn basically our future. I mean, even just contemporary, our art present, and of course we will know what is present, future in store to us. So ang Museo del Galeon, basically it's experiential, and we want visitors really to feel the stories, the like we want them to touch the boats itself, and even some materials. But of course, since some of our collections since I'm the managing collection manager, we of course we have real artifacts. So we have also we don't just let visitors touch
Syempre.
all this now. So it's there's some restrictions, but mostly they'll have experience to feel it, to touch it, to know the stories.
Talagang to immerse themselves
Yes.
in the rich maritime history of our country.
Yes.
And talaga po dito makita natin na we're talking about 1602 na meron ng mga seafarers na mga Pilipino. Hindi po ba may mga Pilipino nang nakakarating from, baka pwede niyo po ikwento sa amin yung flow nung trade before from Manila, kasi pinag-usapan natin kanina na nakakarating na pala yung mga produkto natin sa Europa ganun kaaga, 1602 or even earlier. And I'm sure pati mga Pilipino nakakarating na sa mga lugar na yun, hindi ba? And it's just so amazing to think about. Can you tell us more about this, yung trade ng sinaunang panahon po?
Sure. So, starting from the beginning, sa 1565, Filipinos were involved in every aspect ng galleon trade. To building the ships,
Shipbuilding.
wherever it would be, sa Cavite, sa Sorsogon, sa Iloilo, sa many other places within the Philippines. To, of course, crewing and sailing the galleons. So, Filipinos made up probably more than mga 80% ng mga crew on board the galleon. They served many different roles. Mga sailors, men ng mga sails, mag-dive sila sa baba to repair yung butas sa hull ng ship, sa barko. And they also changed and adjusted yung mga sails to account for the different winds. So, before, mayroon quote from one Spanish before, mga 1580s, mga 1600s, something like that. Basically, nasabi niya na the Filipino is, there's no greater seafarer than the Filipino. Because they understand their ways of navigation, whether by the stars, or by the winds, or you following yung mga birds. So, even back then, alam nila, we were yung number one sa seafaring already.
And this was way back 1500s.
Yes, mga 1500s,
Wow.
yes.
Na-recognize na talaga yung talento ng mga Filipinos bilang seafarers.
Yes.
Wow. Talagang malaki po pala yung naging papel talaga ng mga Filipinos sa galleon trade. And those are the early stages of globalization. And ngayon na full-blown na ang globalization and constantly expanding, nandun pa rin yung Filipino seafarers. Okay. So, AMOSUP has been a steadfast advocate for Filipino seafarers. 65 years na po ang AMOSUP, and we're grateful to be part of Museo del Galeon as one of your partners, and we're very proud. So, can you tell us about the importance of AMOSUP's, of our partnership with Museo del Galeon, and how important it is for the seafarers, our members and their families, to be able to immerse themselves in the museum?
From day one, AMOSUP has been involved in and supportive in every way for the museum. I think both AMOSUP and Captain Oka share a vision of enriching and empowering the Filipino seafarer. And they've helped us in so many ways, not just in terms of yung mga sponsorships or that, but for example, giving us sort of access to their seafarers, to interviews with mga seafarers, and sort of mga giving access to allow us to visit their museum so we can understand ano yung perspective ng isang seafarer today. Another aspect which supported us was the media band that we have in our museum. So this media band, which is supported not just by AMOS but also by the ITF, Seafarers Trust, was actually a huge part of the museum. It's 1,300 square meters of LED mesh screen.
Wow.
That encircles the museum, and wow, it's really amazing. And we couldn't have done it without AMOSUP. And we felt so so under pressure to deliver a story that honors AMOSUP and honors the seafarers, na we actually contacted a production house sa Spain named Acciona Cultura.
Oh, wow.
And they gladly made a story for us, which honors our, not only just the narrative, but also yung legacy ng Filipino seafarer, and which you could see right now in the museum every day that we're open.
So, si Captain Oka kasi, the founder of AMOSUP, really had seafarers at the heart of his advocacy in the maritime industry. He was also a master mariner himself, and his son, Dr. Oka, who's the president of AMOSUP now, really wants to continue that legacy. Not just for the seafarer members, of course, it's been the core of AMOSUP, but also their families. Yes, and nakakatuwa po kasi sa Museo del Galeon, hindi lang seafarers yung ini-encourage na mag-explore, na bumisita, na ma-experience yung Museo del Galeon, pati mga pamilya po nila. So, we're very grateful po sa promotion nyo nung Day of the Seafarer that you did for them.
We're very honored to work with AMOSUP on this, and I think one of the takeaways ng museum is that we hope that the families come back after visiting the museum with a takeaway na ito yung mga sacrifices ng mga seafarers that they do every day. That yes, that we're not just seafarers, we're also travelers, we're explorers even before yung modern maritime industry.
Tsaka ang halaga kasi, di ba kasi pag naman nasa barko yung mga seafarers, hindi natin nakikita yung whole picture eh. Ano yung experiences nila doon, gaano nakakapagod yung biyahe. Pero pag nakita ng pamilya nila, ganito pala kahirap. Mas lalo nilang maintindihan, and mas lalong, I think, mag-grow yung bond nila as a family. Pag nakita ng mga asawa tsaka ng mga anak nila yung ginagawa nila sa barko. And baka ma-inspired yung mga anak to follow in the footsteps of their parents, no, na seafarers. And tama po ba, no Day of the Seafarer, free ang entrance sa lahat ng mga Pilipinong mandaragat? And for their families?
So, for their families, we give a discount for their families of every seafarer. Yes.
Thank you to Museo del Galion. Sana ganyan din yung promo sa National Maritime Week at World Maritime Day. Baka pwede mailambing po, no? Free entrance para sa mga seafarers natin and discount para sa mga pamilya nila, because this is a really, really great achievement for the whole country, not just the maritime industry, but for the whole country. Kasi this is a huge part of our history as a nation. Yung seafaring heritage natin, we really have to highlight that it's one of the pillars of our democracy, of our country, really, our nation, bilang Pilipinas. Ayan. So, can you share with us some of the museum's highlights or mga interactive exhibits that they can enjoy, especially yung mga seafarers, tsaka yung mga pamilya nila? Ano ba yung makikita nila dito pag nag-visit po sila?
So, meron kaming, of course, yung galleon itself. 1:1 replica ng isang Spanish galleon built in Cavite, in the Philippines, out of Filipino wood, Filipino labor, and of course, our ingenuity in building. It's over 40 meters long. It's 30 meters tall, tapos 10 meters wide. So,
Wow.
laki siya.
It's huge, yeah.
It's hard for you to understand kung anong laki siya until you actually go there and see it for yourself sa loob ng museum. You can go inside, you can see yung mga yung wood marks there, you can see yung mga meron kaming interactive screens, meron kaming mga exhibits showing ano yung life back then. Ano yung daily life ng mga seafarers, mga OFWs natin even before.
So para siyang time machine. Dadalhin tayo back in time. Ano ba yung buhay nila dati, ng mga seafarers natin? Syempre dati wala pang internet, wala pang Facebook. Tsaka I can just imagine mas mahaba yung mga biyahe nila, yung mga voyage nila.
Yes.
Hindi po ba?
Yes, so actually yung duration is so for example, yung pupuntang Manila from Acapulco was around mga, I'd say, 2 to 3 months.
2 to 3 months.
Or at most, baka 6 months yung
yung biyahe.
However, yung journey pupuntang Acapulco, mas epic yung journey. As in 6 months to 8 months. At yung longest recorded voyage was 499 days.
499 days
Yes.
from Manila to Acapulco.
Yes.
Oh, that's taking into account yung bagyo na yung mga sea conditions, no?
Yes.
Wow, ang haba ng biyahe nila. Ilang mga seafarers usually yung on board the galleon, average, nung mga panahon na yun?
So, on average, you would be around 180 sailors and officers on board.
Ah, okay. Lahat mano-mano pa nun eh. Diba? Ma-imagine mo, pati yung sales, diba? Lahat mano-mano. Pag may nasira, talagang kailangan gawin on the spot.
Yes.
Yes.
So, may mga carpenters, may mga divers, may mga, actually, maraming para sa mga cannon, pag-fire sila. Oh, maraming.
Wow. So, yung mga bata talagang mai-enjoy nila yun kasi parang it's a playground na educational na something that you don't usually see in museums na kung saan tayo sanay dito sa Pilipinas, hindi ba? Kaya ang ganda talaga na meron na tayong Museo del Galion. Ano pa po ibang mga collections na nandoon bukod sa galleon itself, sir?
Isa sa mga highlight nung exhibition, it's on the, since we a lot of influence, both, we shared some items to Acapulco or even in our Southeast Asian nations. Ang first would be the different types of wood used in a galleon. It's just not just on the galleon but some pre-colonial boat structures, and then next would be the textile. We have, it's an indication really traded. Although the weave are us, but the materials came from Acapulco. So kasi it's pinya fiber, the one we're wearing now, the barong. It's our ingenuity because we know how to weave even before they came, but the materials was introduced, no. Even some silk, no. What else? Like silver were introduced to us, no. At the same time, we provide also some piece of golds, no. We have this agricultural crops, no. Mostly introduced, no. The one ang kinakain natin ngayon ay karamihan galing sa Acapulco, pero meron din ang galing sa Southeast Asia and even from China. So that's the one of the features. Isa pa would be the one on we featured the Doctrina Christiana, no. It's one of the earliest published books, no. It's basically
Religious.
parang it's a religious thing, no? It's parang nandun lahat yung mga sinaunang prayers until now, no, the Our Father, Hail Mary, So doon
Ang galing naman po paano nyo nakuha itong mga artifacts
it's basically the same with the one our reference of making the galleon. These are siya parang mga archival data, no. Although we have already I think the original it's in CP, no?
Yung Doctrina Christiana, I think nasa US siya.
Okay, it's in US, but we reproduce this, and
the
it's
actual
with the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, and that's our parang reference. So it's also indicated there that it was translated from Spanish, Tagalog. It's written Tagalog and then Spanish, and ito baybayin.
Oh,
So it's one of our before the Spanish came, we have our writing system.
Baybayin.
And just for Filipinos can more comprehend perhaps memorize. Kasi so they translated it into baybayin.
Wow.
So that's one of the features. What else? Did I forget?
Yung mga interactive screens natin. So yung Museo de Gallion is isang experiential maritime museum. So hindi siya you're just looking at things. May immersive na experience na pwede mo enjoy. So we have mga, for example, sa pre-colonial gallery, meron kaming interactives kung ano yung mga trade routes ng Southeast Asia before yung dating yung mga Spaniards.
Oh.
We have experience kung ano yung parts ng balangay, yung mga lash log construction na nagamit ng mga pre-colonial Filipinos without using any iron sa construction.
Wow, talagang nakaka-excite. I'm really looking forward to visiting the museum soon and bring my son, my husband. Ayan, because I think it would be really educational, no? And I'm ready to immerse myself in the heritage, Filipino seafaring heritage from the past, and talagang to learn more about our identity, our national history. Ayan. So finally, what's your message na lang po to that you'd like to share with our Filipino seafarers, especially the younger generation, about preserving our maritime heritage and taking pride in our identity as the seafaring nation of the world, top seafaring nation of the world?
So, our number one priority is to replace yung landlocked mentality natin. We are actually an archipelago. We are an archipelagic country, which means na we are composed of many different islands. More than 7,000 islands kami. I think 7,641 or basically anyway, more than 7,000 islands. And we are connected by navigated yung ocean. You know, before yung advent ng mga jet planes, yung mga air travel, we navigated, you know, by sea, by boat, yung casco, yung balangay, yung vinta. There are more than a dozen types of boats found here in the Philippines by region alone. There are so many mga different variations ng boats. And the goal of the Bisadagan is to bring back yung seafaring mentality that we have. To understand na that is our natural strength as a
Yes.
country and as a nation. And I think it's really really part of our being Filipino. You know, it just shows that this history that we said Galeon shows that even before we went all over the world as OFWs, we were already global travelers. And how else could we do that but by the sea back then? You know?
Yes.
So we just want people to, yung mga Filipinos, to be proud of their heritage
Yes.
and to basically bring back, something that they can reflect upon in their own personal lives. So
Thank you very much, Mr. Enzo. Sir Leo?
Yeah, since we're referring to, we're talking about stories, no? So we have much, stories to be told, and the challenge for us is to really to come out with more, more objects, more stories, more interactivity, and then probably more some educational programs, so that we can achieve our target is to really tell these stories to the general public, and most especially to our seafarers.
Yes, and their families, no? Their children.
And yeah.
Talagang seafaring is part of our DNA. And we want to not just look at the present, but kasi mas, sabi nga ni Sir Leo at the start of the program, mas ma-appreciate mo yung pagkatao mo, yung kultura mo, kung naintindihan mo yung storya sa likod nun. Diba? Yung kasaysayan ng bansa natin. And talagang malaking bahagi po nun ay ang ating mga mandaragat, ang paglalayag. Diba? Ayan, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Alright, so para po sa iba pang impormasyon tungkol sa AMOSUP, nandyan po sa screens nyo ang ating AMOSUP Contact Center o ACC, telephone at mobile, Globe and Smart numbers for calls. For more information po about our union or activities or programs for our members and dependents, punta po lamang kayo sa AMOSUP Official Facebook page and AMOSUP Official Facebook group. At sa AMOSUP Official YouTube channel, ina-upload po natin yung mga episodes natin dito sa Alagang AMOSUP. Of course, andyan din po ang www.amosup.org for more detailed information about AMOSUP as a union and our welfare programs and services. Sa gitna po ng patuloy na tensyon sa Middle East, mayroon din po tayong nakatalagang AMOSUP Help Desk para sa inyo. Maaari po kayong makipag-ugnayan sa helpdesk@amosup.org para sa anumang katanungan o tulong na inyong kailangan. Katuwang din po natin ang Department of Migrant Workers at ang International Transport Workers Federation upang tiyakin ang kaligtasan, kapakanan at karapatan ng bawat Pilipinong mandaragat. Para sa agarang tulong at komunikasyon, narito po ang kanilang mga contact details sa inyong screens. Muli, maraming salamat po sa inyong pagsubaybay. Salamat sa mga kasama natin sa Radyo Pilipinas, si Ms. Susan Aizon, Milo Junella, J. Arevalo, Hero Lucero, Erwin Peñano, JP Lumuntad, at ang ating kaamusup na si Lara San Juan. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Ralph Leo Batoon and Mr. Enzo Novenario ng Museo del Galeon sa inyong oras at sa pagpapaalala sa atin kung gaano kayaman ang maritime heritage ng ating bansa. Muli, inaanyayahan natin ang ating mga tagapakinig, tagapanood na bisitahin ang Museo del Galeon kasama ang inyong mga pamilya at kaibigan. Isa sa mga pinaka-highlight ng museo ay ang life-size replica ng isang Spanish galleon, ang Espiritu Santo, na tiyak na magbibigay ng isang memorable at kakaibang experience para sa buong pamilya, ating mga seafarers at seafarer families. Pagbati rin po muli sa lahat ng miyembro at dependents ng AMOSUP na siyang inspirasyon ng lahat ng mga programa at serbisyo ng ating union. Atin din pong subaybayan ang programang Alagang AMOSUP sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service at Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko 738 kHz tuwing linggo alas 7 hanggang alas 7:30 ng gabi. Ako po si Camille Simbulan at ito po ang Alagang AMOSUP.
All aboard sa talakayan. Palalimin pa ang inyong kaalaman. Alagang AMOSUP dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service at Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko.